Perfect fit, guys. So I think that's a good time to go ahead and start in this video of putting this piece in the truck. I mean, obviously the cuts weren't 100% perfect, but that's okay. Even with a little bit of sanding, it's gonna make it look real good. All we gotta do is take our grade 8 bolts right here, put up our little mounting bracket, insert our bolts into the other side, and once we go inside our box, we can crank down that pressure as much as we want to make this bracket ultra solid, because the back of this box is like 4 inches thick. And the reason why I love using washers is because I can step off the distance of this rack however much I want on either side to make it perfectly flush to the tiniest millimeter, or however the thickness of one washer is, to be very accurate. Damn cell phone. When we first made these brackets, we were looking for something easy to mount without making too many cuts. And since we're all about recycling, it made perfect sense to reuse our old hardware. And it works out nicely for strength too, because at this point, the thickness of the box helps add some beefiness between the metal brace. And since all of our amps are mounted on rubber stoppers, it'll definitely be handy being able to gradually change the distance of that gap. Just a convenient way to get that perpendicular look. Another score for washers. So now we are actually inside the subwoofer box. You can see where our wires are going through to the back of the amplifiers here. They will be going through there once again once we get the amplifiers installed. But here's what we need to do. We need to take some washers and step off this little gap here because the thread doesn't go down all the way. So once we make up that little bit of distance, we can finally get some good bite through the box. That should do it right there. Just gotta get a little bit of meat with those threads, you know what I mean? So I gotta do that on all of them, going up right here. They're grade 8 bolts, and so I just kept what I had, you know what I'm saying? Before going any further on our rack, we needed to make sure each cut was done correctly. Heck, our jigsaw did great, but we did end up sanding the edges and removing the marks we made. This would give us a head start for carpeting after our test fit. Couldn't ask for anything better than that, guys. Went in like a glove, fitting in nice and tight, especially on the tops and bottoms right here. Check that out. I'll probably remove just maybe 2 more washers, and that's another reason why I love doing it this way, because once you add carpet and all that other stuff, like the little standoffs for our amplifier, you know, it adds a little bit of distance, so we want to make sure we make up for it with these washers. That's why I love doing it. So we're just going to remove probably 2 more on every one of them, so we can push it back a little bit because we still have some more room. Now that we know the amp rack is gonna mount nice and securely, we can get everything situated with our amp inputs. And we wanna make sure that our 0 gauge runs through this amp rack nice and cleanly, so we have to drill some holes for that. But we have Toolmaker input adapters, and that has 2 wires going in per input. So let's go ahead and hop inside, do a quick unboxing. That way we can come out here and plot out the exact cuts for each one of those inputs. Good old Toolmaker hooked it up. Now, if you've been following our videos, you'll definitely recognize these Toolmaker input adapters. We had 6 of the aluminum sets installed before, and we'll have 12 of the copper sets installed now. Talk about an upgrade, woo! But we need to be extra careful not to touch the copper, that way we can prevent fingerprints from showing up later on. These things are a work of art. Custom tooled 0 gauge sockets, stainless steel set screws, and of course, a flattened end so it can't rotate in the power terminals. A very smart idea. So once we have all these suckers wired up, there'll be even more wire plugging into our amps. That's the whole reason behind these things. And you know what that means. More wire, more power flow. Boom, baby. So here we are back outside. Let's go ahead and see how these bad boys plot out. I'm gonna try not to touch them with my fingers as much as possible because it really makes it look a little bit. You see right there, you can see where I already touched it earlier, maybe yesterday evening. They're gonna be mounted just like this, so they can be squeezed in where the flat side is mounted up, just like this. Same thing goes for the other one. There is no positive and no negative. You can pick either one that you choose. And there we go. There's one set done right there. So the wires will come out probably, I might even do it dead center or a little bit offset from dead center so I can do 2 sets, if you know what I mean. So let's go and get the other one and see how that looks. Now before we get to drilling, I totally forgot one thing, guys. Notice anything funny about this picture? Check that out, we're getting text messages, but look, the Crescendo logo is backwards, but we want these inputs to be faced mirrored image. So the only way to fix that is to go right down to these Allen screws, take off this little decorative piece right here, which is a piece of aluminum with the branding and the 5500 logo. We're just gonna flip it around, quite literally, take it off and flippity-dippity. It's easy as that, guys, and that's the same way I did it in Frankenstein earlier with the 3500s that people were so curious. It's actually pretty damn easy. Just gotta remove those screws, call it good. Just like that, our Crescendo logos are a perfect mirror image of each other. Get out of the sunlight there so you can see it. Check it out, guys. Simple as that. When marking out the drill marks for all the wires, all we did was play connect the dots. After all, a nice even spacing is all we really needed. I think that'll just about do it, YouTubulus. We are ready for carpet. With those holes just about done, then we'll be able to trim out the excess with a razor blade. So that's why we got this good old black ready to go. So we're gonna do as much as we can from side to side. There'll be a little bit of bald spot on both edges. That's fine, we're gonna go ahead and patch it up because that will be underneath the amplifier. In fact, we could go ahead and just carpet these little nubbies in the inside part right here, and that's the only part you would ever notice. So technically you don't even need to carpet the rest of it, but we will. So there'll just be one little seam right here and one little seam right here, which you won't be able to see. So let's go ahead and do that right now with our little Home Depot Express HDX and our little Parts Express latex back black carpet. All carpeted up. Definitely not the best job in the world, but it looks pretty good. And besides, lots of this is going to be covered up with the amplifier itself. So just like an example right there, I'm just going to do a little bit more trimming, and then that's going to be all covered up underneath the amplifier. So I wasn't really worried about that. I knew that was going to happen. And then we'll trim out our little holes, which we've already pre-cut for our wires. Mount the amplifiers on our tiny little offsets here. This will help reduce a little bit of that vibration and just give us a little bit of a podium to stand on, so the fans are a little bit more effective that are located underneath the amplifiers. Each amp has its own fan, so having this little standoff will help it perform a little bit better. Now that we had both 5500s mounted on our rack, we could focus our attention on getting them into the back. Now this was definitely going to give us a run for our money, because not only was it really hard to get them finagled in there, it actually weighed a little bit more than I was expecting with that MDF back there. So as funny as it looks, we had to do some crouching tiger, hidden dragon stuff to get this bad boy secured in there, because man oh man, my back was breaking. But we literally had to do it like this because I couldn't get the drill to fit on the other sides of the Expedition, and I really couldn't get my hand in there with enough force to get a screw into it. So HULK Mania it was. Woo! Oh my good word. Fast forward about an hour and we finally got these things in. I was getting wicked frustrated. It was so heavy lifting this thing up into place and getting them all to fit at the same exact spot. So what I did is I pulled it out and did a little bit of gauging with the bit here. That way that when we put it up there, it would fit in a lot easier. So now we got her sitting in there beautifully. All 6 Crescendo 5500s fitting nice. Let's get a straight on shot here. Everything's nice and symmetrical. Next up, we're gonna have to plug in our wires, but we're losing sunlight. Oh man, we are definitely losing sunlight. As you can see, she's going behind the trees there. So we're gonna come at you guys probably tomorrow and we'll resume the big project. Good Lord, make sure you slap a big thumbs up here. We've been busting ass. All right guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow.